father was equipoised.
I told Paul Revere, now this is no bump steer. It's from a handicapper that's real sincere.
I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. So make it F and 10, he wins by a half a clock.
Hello race fans and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, presented by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the 7 races on the Friday night card, June the 15th. Hopefully get everyone, maybe get some winners, fatten that wallet a little.
I hope so. For another good weekend at Hastings, we'll try and get you some money in your pocket on the Friday. Friday night's live have been a great success at Hastings, so we'll try and keep that going. Card of 7 carded for Friday night, and we start off with Fillies and Mares 4,000 non-2, and I have gone to the 2, one of my favorite names here at Hastings, Haley's Cupcake Bake out of the Phil Hall barn. She drops down from the open 12-5 3-0 Fillies into the 4,000 non-2. I think she fits pretty snugly into this. Phil Hall's starting to heat up a little bit. He's got a good barn up there. Amadeo Perez, leading rider, takes the call, taking over for Alex Marty, the bug boy. I went with Haley's Cupcake Bake on top. The second spot, I went with another barn starting to heat up, Harold Barraby's barn, Quiet Tap with Jason Rodriguez. Horse has been knocking on the door in these kind of races. Probably going long won't hurt her. So I have her in for second. And Grievance. Frank Fuentes takes call on Grievance. The 3 horse just comes out of the maiden 3,000 off a win. Right. Took her a while to break her maiden, but she did break her maiden. Now she comes into the 4 non-2. That's kind of how I see it setting up, Mike.
Yeah, I see the same 3 horses. It looks like the 1, 2, and 3. Except I've gone to Quiet Tap on top, the 1 horse. I think the stretch out in distance is really going to help Quiet Tap. If you look at her better races last year, they were going long. And at least she tipped her hand last time from a poor post, made up some ground late to be third, going 6.5. At least, and I thought it was a pretty good race with Fenella Blossom and Breakaway Pass. So at least she's exiting a live race, gets to her best distance. That's what I'm going to hope. You know, she's going to maybe win the money. I put Haley's Cupcake Bake in for second for all the same reasons you mentioned. Class relief, leading rider, lots of things to like about Haley's Cupcake Bake. And the 3 horse Grievance, I have her in for third. As you mentioned, just broke her maiden. So might be continuing on, getting on a little bit mini roll.
Going the right way, yeah.
But I went to the 1 horse, Quiet Tap. On to the second race, we do have some 2-year-olds here. We actually have back-to-back 2-year-old races. This one's 3.5 furlongs. Interesting little race. Got a couple horses that have run well, like Lord Harlow and Serendipity Grove. But I've gone to the 2 horse Tiggertown out of the Greg Tracy barn. Been pretty impressed with the way he prepares his 2-year-olds. They're very professional. They put a lot of work into them. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one be pretty quick. Lures Amadeo Perez to the saddle. He did ride the 3 Lord Harlow last time and ends up on the debuting Son of Tail of the Cat. So an excellent pedigree here. I put the 5 Officer's Charm, speaking of good pedigrees, in for second. A daughter of Officer, who is very fast himself, and the works are very good, 34-2 there on May the 16th. The only negative I have for Officer's Charm is she was scratched. I believe she flipped in the paddock a week ago, and hopefully she's good to go tonight. And I put the 6 horse Serendipity Grove in for third. Just missed a little misbend for maiden 20. Up in class to maiden allowance, but still has the race under his belt. He proved he was pretty fast, and a lot of the Forest Groves have a lot of talent. But I went to the Greg Tracy runner, Tiggertown. I went 2, 5, and 6.
I have a lot of the same horses as you, but I went on Lord Harlow because of the race. Had the race under his belt, so I think that makes a big difference in these 2-year-old races. Not a bad post to 3-hole, and that's second behind Foxy Rocket and Market Way, who we'll see in the next race. Only got beat 2 lengths. Works all look good, the 48-1, so I put him on top. I do have Tiggertown in second. As you said, Greg Tracy's 2-year-olds have all been... they all look really good. They're all training really good. They're all running really good. All signs kind of point that Greg Tracy knows how to get a 2-year-old ready.
He's done it for many years.
Yeah, he sure has. And I have Officer's Charm, as you mentioned. I think I had Officer's Charm picked last time, and I have her in third spot this time, just because I like the out for Lord Harlow and the Greg Tracy runner. So I have Officer's Charm in for third. So it's 3, 2, 5 for me. And on to the long end of the maiden special weight for 2-year-olds, 3/4. Pretty interesting race here. A lot of these horses have run. Naturally, when you stretch out to 6 furlongs, you have a lot of that started for 3.5. Now they're going to the 6 furlong. So that's not as big an angle here. But I went to the 5 Market Way out of the Troy Taylor barn. Right. Another guy who was very dangerous with 2-year-olds. This filly, she kind of stumbled out of the gate last time. It wasn't really out of the gate. It was like a couple jumps after they broke. She stumbled, then she was really wide and was absolutely flying down the lane. Just about got there to Foxy Rocket.
Yeah, rallied in the slop.
Yeah, in a sloppy day, exactly. Which it could be the good chance, the way the weather's been here in June, you could get a bit of an off track tomorrow night as well. So I went with Markaway because the ground she was making up down the stretch, 6 furlongs, I think just gives her that little bit extra space to really get running. In the second spot, I put Lazarius Lass. Dave Forster's running her here, Eddington out of Langara Lass, who I remember Langara Lass is a 2-year-old, ran kind of a similar race, her first start, and then second start, I believe it was in a stake.
Figured it out.
Yeah, she won for fun, paid about $40 or so that day, $38 or something like that. I know he's always dangerous with his second start to the 2-year-olds, and I know they're pretty high on this filly, so I think she would naturally take a big step forward into her second race and a 6 furlong race. And in the third spot, I have, speaking of Greg Tracy, I have his horse, Take It Back Road. Another one that ran for maiden 20 first out. Was a good effort, just got beat a length and a half. Another one that looked like it probably wants to go a little bit further, stretch his legs out in that 6 furlong. So I have him in the third spot. It's 5-4-1 for me.
Yeah, obviously these races, you have to go to the paddock and have a look at them anytime.
Yeah, exactly.
2-year-olds, young horses, you want to take a look at their appearance. I've gone back to Greg Tracy, but with the 3-horse 1030.
Yeah.
Pretty impressed with the last work. I happened to be at the track that morning and watched the 104 and 2 where he finished with good energy, or she finished with good energy.
Yeah.
She's a daughter of Corinthian. She, didn't cost the King's ransom, but still, nice pedigree. She has a 35 flat back there on May the 27th. And I just like the fact that I don't think they could have run her 3.5, and they ought to run her 6. And
they obviously think something of her.
I think she's a pretty nice filly. I put, as you mentioned, Dave Forster's runner, Lazaria Lass in for second. Throughout the first race, just in for some experience, and will be much better going 2 turns, going 6 furlongs. Adds blinkers as well, and has a couple of good work since that last race. So definitely keep an eye on Lazaria Lass, as well as the 5 Market Way. Was making good ground after a tardy beginning. She caused her own problems, but still, anytime you're making up ground in the slop, that's pretty impressive with a debut runner. And I just wasn't crazy with the time, 40 3/5. It wasn't one of those 39s that you were making up ground on. 40 3/5. Maybe she should be making up ground because they're not really running away from the Foxy Rocket race. I just, I can't fault her after the 1 run, but it just siding with others. I'm going to try 1030.
She's probably not going to be much of a price either.
No, that's another thing. 1030 at least going to be 6 or 7 to 1. And Beato has been Beato has been getting on a lot of horses in the morning through Greg Tracy, and with two Great Tracy runners in here, I'm sure he might have had his pick, and he ends up on 1030. So that might tell you something as well that this horse could be live. But I went 3, 4, and 5 in the first 6 furlong 2-year-old race of the year. On to the 4th race. We got some non-2s here. 4,000 Colts and Geldings going a mile and a 16th. I went to the 6. I'm a dude with attitude out of the Henry Miller Senior Barn. I thought a better than looked race and a non-2 17.5 last time. They're going to take the big plunge down here. I see some speed in here with Gentleman Ben and the 4-horse Wandering Dreamer. Even sometimes the 1 Sage Hill Storm. Sage Hill Storm shows speed as well. But I don't know. I'm a dude with attitude. Might be the best horse in the race, and I think she can sit back, make a run. Lucave has had quite a few chances. Cashland got into trouble last time, but I think that was just the race was quite slow. Mr. Victorious won it. They almost went in 120. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the 6 on the class drop. I put Cashland in for second and the 3 Lucava.
I went to Lucava. Robbie Anderson's having another guy heating up. He knows how to have him ready. The horse has been off since March. That's not a big break. He was running all winter, so he should be fit enough. Work tabs, just solid since he got back. Him and Robbie and Chad have been hot lately too. So I got Lucava on top. I did put Sage Hill Storm in for second. This is a horse that kind of got in a little bit of trouble out of the gate last time, got buried a little bit, and never really got a great shake at things. So I think with a little cleaner trip, again, he's in the 1 hole, but if he gets a little bit better trip at all, it's not a large field, so he shouldn't be able to get in too much trouble. A little better trip, I think, puts him right there. And in third spot, I went with Wandering Dreamer, a horse that was jumped up to that 17.5 non-2, non-3. Now drops right down to the 4 non-2 level. I think he fits in well. Amadeo Perez, leading rider, takes the call. So that's it for me. 3, 1, and 4 for me. And on to the 5th, the maiden 5, going 3.5, the Friday night special, as it were. And I went with a horse that just got beaten this race 2 weeks ago. Spy Zone, a horse that looked like he looked like he even got past the horse on his inside.
I think he did, and he just.
And the other one fought back and beat him. It was a pretty hardy race for Prince Beast Herbie to beat him, but he gets a great post for this, the outside. Marty sticks with him. He should have a lot of options of how to kind of place this horse if he wants to take the lead or if he just wants to lay off him. So I put Spy Zone on top. Second spot, I have a horse, which we've seen, we talked about this before, is these horses that were running 6.5, that were showing a lot of speed and dying. Now they kind of fit really good into a 3.5 furlong race, as this horse did last time. So I have Paloma Negra, the 6th horse out of the Pat Jarvis barn. Another one that shows really good early speed, but was just kind of floundering late in the 6.5 furlong races. So in a 3.5 furlong race, probably fits her to a T. I have her in second. And in the third spot, I have number 2, Bye For Now, with Marlowe down in the irons.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I like your top 2. I flip-flopped them, though. I went with the 6, Paloma Negra. Try off the claim, ran for 10 grand, chased LA Superior Court, who's very fast. There's some 22 and 2, 45 and 1, so some solid fractions, and this horse did get tired. But still, no LA Superior Courts in here, I don't think, and the reduction to 3.5 furlongs in distance, I think will help Paloma Negra. So I got her in the winner's circle. I put the 10 Spy Zone in for second. I guess this horse will win a race soon, and certainly could be tonight. But and I put the 8 horse Royal Know-How, who are also flashed in speed, got a half in 46 and 1. Got a little tired late, ended up 4th, but this one also cuts back in distance to 3.5. Not your most reliable type horses. Do shop around in this one, but I do like the 6 Paloma Negra. I think this filly will run very well, even though running against the boys. On to the 6th race. We do have some $25,000 3-year-old fillies going a mile and a 16th. No 6.5 furlong races tonight. No, they're all 3.5s or 6s or a mile 16.
That's right.
There's no. That's a very odd. Probably the only time you see that this year. No 6.5s. Except early in the year when we just go the about 6s. But got a field of 6 here. I went to the 2 horse Long Lori. I'm not too sure if she can go the distance, but the pedigree says yes. I think the pace scenario will be quite favorable for Long Lori as well. I just don't see any speed in here. Kind of didn't get the greatest position last time from the 7 hole. Kind of was close to the pace and it ended up just 1 pace, which is kind of nice when you're stretching out going long. If she can find the front end, she might be able to just keep that cruising speed and go all the way. I put the 4 Satellite Debris on the class drop in for second. She's been running against some tough fillies. Another one that I'm not too sure if she'll like to go long, but we'll find out. And the 3 horse Commandress, who has proven herself going a mile and farther, been running well down at Golden Gate. A decent effort in her Hastings debut behind Bold Pretense, and but back out at her better distance for Kaz, and I put her in the 3rd spot. I went 2, 4, and 3. Definitely Satellite Debris or Commanders could win the race, but I'm just banking on a slow pace, and that might play against them. So I went to Long Lori.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. She gets out there on her own. I did go with Commanders because the way she was passing horses down the lane in the last race. And the fact that, she's the only horse in the race who's ran this distance before. So I did go with Commandress. I think she'll be really tough in here. I did put Satellite Debris in the 2nd spot. That's a big class relief for her. No Ancedes. Our Eleanor's Dance with the Wind. She's been running pretty tough spots this year. This is definitely the softest spot she's been in, probably since the day she was claimed first out for Maiden 20. And in the 3rd spot, I put in Doreen's Delight out of Harold's Barn because it was kind of a funny. She won on a. It was two Fridays ago on kind of a nasty Friday night, sloppy, wettish kind of track. I think it might be that way again, and she's got a nice 390 Tomlinson for the distance, so it looks like she can get the distance. The way she ran last time, kind of in an off track on a Friday night, I think make a good case for her. So I put her in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, anytime you got lightly raced horses trying new distances, you must give them an opportunity. She's
like Long Lori,
she's bred to go long, and Doreen's Delight, and it wouldn't be a surprise. And she just gets tested for class here. She's coming up from Maiden 10 in for 25, and a horse like Keystadorable still, she's bred to go long, but she's getting an easier class test, but still they have to prove it if they can go a mile.
Exactly, that's another one we left out was Keystadorable, who's gets a nice drop into here too.
Yeah, so it's a competitive race. As I mentioned, it's hard to stand alone with one horse because you got most of these horses doing something that they've never done before or never been successful at, and that makes it a little tougher handicapping. But you're going to head to the 3 Commandress, who's proven around 2 turns, and I'm going to go to the 2 horse Long Lori. On to the 7th and final. We do have some $3,000 claimers, fillies and mares here to go a mile and a 16th. I'm going to go back to the 5 Rainbows in the Wood. She kind of flopped on me a couple weeks ago in the last race.
Not just you, everybody. She was pretty short price.
Yeah, I'm hoping it might be a fast strip. Might have been the wet, fast, sealed track that she didn't care for, and because she was flat. She didn't run anywhere near as good as she did when she ran second behind Diva Ballerina. She repeats that May 20th race. She's going to win for fun. So I got her in the top spot. I put the 2 CI to Eye in for second. She liked the distance change last time. She's just going to need a little bit more pace pressure to help her out. And I put the 4 Mahadi Joe in for third. Perhaps a little too close to those fast fractions. Took its toll late on her, but I like Rainbows in the Wood. I'm going to give her another shot.
Exactly the same horse, just flip-flopped the last 2. I like the way CI to Eye hooked Rainbows in the Wood down the stretch and kind of, dug in and got by her. So for that reason, I took CI to Eye, Rainbows in the Wood second, Mahadi Joe in third. Those 3, you could kind of go any way with those 3, but I think those are the 3 in the race.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So it's 2, 5, 4 for me, but those are probably interchangeable. Maybe go 3 deep in the last leg of your pick 4s, pick 3s.
5s, whatever you play in.
Yeah, if those 3, you're probably going to be pretty safe.
Alrighty, well that'll do it for our analysis of the 7 Friday night Alive card for Hastings Race Course. Up next on screen will be all of our selections, and we'll go on to my picks. We'll start her off.
Mike's up first.
In the first race, I went to the 1, Quiet Tap. I went 1, 2, and 3. In race number 2, I hopefully see the 2-horse Tigger Town in the winner's circle. I went 2, 5, and 6. In the third race, went to another Greg Tracy runner again, the 3-horse debuting filly, 1030 over the 4 and 5. In the fourth race, I went to the 6, I'm a Dude with Attitude. Behind, I have the 5 Cashland and the 3 Lucava. In the fifth race, I went 6, 10, and 8. That's the 6 Paloma Negra. In the sixth race, the feature of the night, 25,000 3-year-old fillies. I went to the 2 Long Lori and hope she can go wire to wire. I went 2, 4, 3. And in the seventh and final, I went to the 5-horse. Going to give her another shot. Rainbows in the Wood. I went 5, 2, and 4.
And there we go on to my picks. In the first, I took the 2 Haley's Cupcake Bake over the 1 and 3. The second, I went with the horse that had the start, number 3, Lord Harlow, over 2 and 5. In the third race, number 5, Market Way, over the 4 and 1. In the fourth race, I went with number 3, Lucava, over the 1 and 4. In the fifth race, I went way out to the 10, Spy Zone, over the 6 and 2. In the sixth race, number 3, Commandress, over the 4 and 5. And in the nightcap, the 7th, I went with the 2, See Eye to Eye, over the 5 and 4.
Well, there you have it. There's our Friday, June the 15th edition of Handicappers Corner. We wish everyone lots of luck on the Friday Night Live program. Thanks very much for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again.
I hear his foot's all right. Of course it all deep and to big red last night.
I know it's Valentine, the morning works look fine. You know the jockeys, brothers are...